Hi everyone, welcome to my hotel room actually, where I'm spending 2 days relaxing in Chicago before my Arcadia gig and Des Plaines concert tomorrow and the day after. I hope you're going to join me. I'm looking forward to these 2 concerts in the Chicago area. Chicago has always been fantastic for the Moody Blues. Thank you all for keeping the faith, and I look forward to you all being at my concerts the next 2 days with John Davison from Yes and my 10,000 Light Year band. We are just singers in a rock and roll band.
Imagine a bass line that hums like the undercurrent of a cosmic river, carrying you through symphonic swells and introspective whispers. That's the sound of John Lodge, the Moody Blues' steadfast heartbeat. For over 5 decades, his melodic grooves and soaring vocals powered one of rock's most innovative acts, blending psychedelic dreams with philosophical depth. But on October 10th, 2025, that heartbeat fell silent. Lodge, the band's bassist, singer, and songwriter, passed away at the age of 82, leaving a legacy etched in timeless anthems like Ride My Seesaw and I'm Just a Singer in a Rock and Roll Band. His family shared the news in a heartfelt statement, describing a peaceful end surrounded by loved ones and the nostalgic strains of the Everly Brothers and Buddy Holly artists, whose harmonious spirit Lodge had carried into his own work. The announcement called his death sudden and unexpected, with no cause disclosed, sparking a wave of tributes from fans and peers who mourn the loss of a gentle giant of prog rock. As we reflect on Lodge's extraordinary life, let's explore the man behind the music, his devoted marriage, his talented family, the homes that grounded him, the funeral plans honoring his spirit, the lifestyle that kept him vibrant, and the net worth built from a career of enduring hits. John Charles Lodge was born on July 20th, 1943, in Erdington, a working-class suburb of Birmingham, England, a city that would soon become a cradle for British rock royalty. The year was deep in World War II, and Lodge's early years unfolded amid the rubble and resilience of post-war Britain. His family resided in a council house, one of those modest government-built homes designed to shelter families rebuilding their lives. His father toiled in a factory. His mother kept the home running with quiet determination, instilling in young John a profound appreciation for discipline, family, and the simple joys that music could bring. Birmingham's industrial hum was the soundtrack of his childhood, but it was the American rock and roll seeping across the Atlantic that ignited his passion. By his mid-teens, Lodge had traded school books for a bass guitar, drawn to its deep rhythmic pulsed instrument that would become his voice in the Moody Blues. Influences like the Shadows, the Ventures, and the Beatles shaped his style, teaching him the art of harmonious pop rock that he would later infuse with orchestral grandeur. Lodge's youth was a blend of rebellion and responsibility. Late nights, jamming in smoky clubs, dreaming of stages beyond Birmingham, balanced by odd jobs that funded his first Fender Precision Sunburst bass at age 16. It was a formative time, forging the grounded, optimistic spirit that defined his songs and his life. Lodge's big break arrived in 1966, at the tender age of 23, when he joined the Moody Blues, a band teetering on the edge of reinvention. Formed in 1964 amid Birmingham's blues boom, the group had tasted early success with their soulful cover of Go Now, a Bessie Banks ballad that topped the UK charts and cracked the US top 10, but follow-ups faltered, leading to the departure of singer Denny Lane and bassist Clint Warwick, the core drummer Graham Edge, keyboardist Mike Pinder, and multi-instrumentalist Ray Thomas scouted fresh talent, landing Lodge and guitarist Justin Hayward. This classic lineup would catapult the Moodies from R&B roots to the forefront of progressive rock, pioneering a sound that fused electric guitars with orchestral sweeps, psychedelic experimentation, and poetic lyrics. Lodge, with his melodic bass runs and falsetto harmonies, became the band's rhythmic and vocal anchor, complementing Hayward's soaring leads and Pinder's mellotron magic. Their debut as this lineup, the 1967 album Days of Future Past, is revered. As prog rock's genesis, a conceptual masterpiece, depicting a day in an everyman's life, backed by the London Festival Orchestra under producer Tony Clark. Lodge's fingerprints are everywhere. His bass drives the urgent peak hour, a track about the daily grind, while he co-wrote Ride My Seesaw, a rollicking opener with infectious riffs and caland-response vocals that became a concert staple. The album's crown jewel, Hayward's Nights in White Satin, with its orchestral crescendo and Lodge's subtle harmonies, climbed charts slowly but surely, hitting No. 2 in the US in 1972 and cementing the Moody's as visionaries. Lodge's optimistic songwriting added an anthemic lift to the band's mysticism, balancing cosmic wonder with accessible emotion, and influencing acts like Pink Floyd and Genesis. The late 1960s and 1970s were the Moody Blues' creative zenith, a string of ambitious albums that explored existence, space, and the human spirit. On the Threshold of a Dream, 1969 delved into existential queries, with Lodge's Send Me No Wine Offering a folk-tinged respite to Our Children's Children's Children, 1969. Inspired by the moon landing, featured his co-written Candle of Life, a tender ballad on legacy and time's fleeting nature. A Question of Balance, 1970, included Lodge's upbeat It's Up to You, showcasing his compositional growth. Every Good Boy Deserves Favor, 1971, and Seventh Sojourn, 1972, sustained the streak, with Lodge's I'm Just a Singer in a Rock and Roll Band from the latter emerging as a signature hit-a-witty, self-deprecating rocker that lampooned the band's guru status while affirming their entertainer roots. The song's propulsive bass and Lodge's lead vocals made it a live essential, encapsulating the Moody's mix of depth and delight. Burnout from relentless touring and output prompted a 1974 hiatus. Lodge channeled energy into solo work, releasing Natural Avenue, 1977, a lush album blending rock and orchestration with tracks like Street Calf that echoed his band sound. He teamed with Hayward for Blue Jays 1975, yielding the hit Blue Guitar. Reunion came in 1977 with Octave 1978, incorporating synths for a modern twist. Long Distance Voyager 1981 revived commercially, topping charts with Gemini Dream, and The Voice, Lodge's talking out of turn infused emotional nuance. The Present 1983 and The Other Side of Life 1986 followed, Lodge's Rock and Roll Over You adding vigor. The 1990s brought Schiffsbinder departed in 1978. Thomas retired in 2002, but Lodge endured. Touring and recording Keys of the Kingdom 1991 and Strange Times 1999, the 2018 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction crowned his career. Lodge accepting with Hayward and Edge Thomas gone earlier that year. Thank you for keeping the faith, Lodge said, a phrase his family echoed at his passing. Lodge's heart belonged to family anchored by his 57-year marriage to Kirsten, met in the 1960s amid the Moody's rise. Married in 1968, their bond weathered rock storms. Kirsten was his pillar, traveling with the band and offering stability. She's my rock, Lodge said. They had 2 children, daughter Emily, a singer inspiring Emily's song From Every Good Boy Deserves Favor, 1971, written for her infancy, and son Crastian in music production. Emily, 50s, blends folk rock in solo work. Crastian, 40s, crafts behind scenes. Lodge doted on grandson John Henry, sharing football photos, prioritizing home over tours. Lodge's net worth at death was $18 million. From 50 years royalties, tours, sales, the Moody Blues sold 70+ million records. Hits like Ride My Seesaw, fueling wealth, solo merchandise, real estate, publishing bolstered it. Lodge's lifestyle echoed Birmingham modest, music-infused. He resided in a Surrey, England home, bought in 1966 for £15,000 a Tudor estate, valued £2 million plus, with gardens for reflection, studio for composing. Later, a Naples, Florida condo for winter's golf, beach walks. Routine, early tea, songwriting, family, fame, shunned excess. Health, via walking, light, exercise, balanced diet. Tours meant travel, but home, with Kirsten, meant barbecues for grandkids. Funeral pending. Family hints private service with influences music. Public memorial may follow for fan celebration. Lodge's 82-year death closes chapter. Music endures psychedelia to timeless rock bridge. Asterisk, thanks for watching. Subscribe to daily updates and never miss a video.